nach der Abfahrt schieb's rein.
Okay, yeah, all right, let me check. All right, cheers, thank you, everyone.
Designing a new watch after Belcanto is really hard. That sets a really high bar.
I was talking to Precision and the guy told me, yeah, but it looks like we have to throw away the balance wheels.
So they may have to throw away depending our decision regarding the amp.
Exactly. If it doesn't work, no, I don't want to talk about it. Nightmare. Nightmare.
Get an enamel dial, SP, whatever.
It's definitely difficult at the moment in Beale. The watch isn't working as we need it to, and it's Christmas. And we're launching the watch in 4 months.
It takes too much time. We don't have this time. We want to come out next spring and create new balances. Will take 2-3 months, I think.
Look at that, perfect in frame, 1 month.
It's not great that it's not working, that's for sure. The guys are at it, they're on it. We'll get there, we'll get there.
Ciao Jonas, ciao ciao.
Not good news, huh? Now we have to decide what we will do next.
Shit. I mean, the story starts 5 years ago.
I have this discussion with Jörg Bader Senior. Wouldn't it be possible to generate with SH21 something special? Bring the balance on top of the movement or bring it on the position at 6 o'clock, something like this. And yeah, and we were thinking about this. And this was the first idea, as you can see here. We were always thinking, okay, yeah, that's really, really nice, cool idea. But that's not what we want to have at the end because it's not symmetrical, it looks a little bit wild. And so we decided, okay, we have to do it in a different way. And the different way means we need a new movement.
No way, we said. There was no way we were going to do that at that time. And then COVID happened, we had other things on our mind for a while. Indeed, what we had on our mind was the Belcanto, which we launched 2022. Of course, what happened with Belcanto meant that we had huge confidence in this type of architecture of a watch and this sort of haute horology, if you want to give it its rather pompous title. Post Belcanto, it was what's next? Could this idea be made to work?
And a few years later, we had a meeting, and yeah, to be honest, it was a little bit boring to me. All this stuff like straps, and as you can imagine, I'm a watchmaker, and in my head there are gearings. This is the world where I am. And so I put on the PC and start to realize something new. I've had a lot of meetings with Adrian and William, our designers in England, and they love this idea also.
That's the very initial idea. From there, I then just quickly did some thumbnail sketches just to explore what that could be like, what the kind of the setup of the dial could be. Would we have something a little more asymmetric, have more straight bridges and have the balance wheel move to one side, the time telling larger or smaller? And this is kind of the process that I usually take very early on.
Adrian and William, as you know them, they're completely crazy guys. They like to have much more elements on top. So they made much more samples or the suggestions where you can see here with power reserve at 8 and a small second at 4 o'clock, stuff like this, and in a different way with different bridges. And this was a little bit this fight we had, because I want to keep it as simple as possible and they want to make it as complex as possible.
I call it the ping pong. You know, the one does something, the other one reacts, and the more you can ping pong without having the ball falling on the floor, the better it is, because you can get to the end goal and adjust all the details. It is very badly organized. I mean, it needs a bit of Swissness in here. The way we organize this is a bit too chaotic. Well, at least some watches are sealed, which is good.
Then 12 family was born. They said, hey, it would be cool stuff if we can implement this movement in the 12X case. And then they came back with this one. And this was the first stage where I thought, okay, yeah, that's it. That's the way you want to go.
And yeah, this is a whole process where you go wide, you go restrained. Sometimes you come back, sometimes you go in another direction. But the difficulty is how you take the risk and the boldness to simplify it. How you show that this is powerful without being too much. That's probably yoga that have done that pivot point at a certain point to say, you know what, at a certain point we need to come back to the basics of frank idea of just having something very pure and not overdoing it.
Creating any movement or even a module, if you want it to be aesthetically pleasing, is a very difficult challenge. There's always a conflict between the watchmaker and the watch designer. One wants it to look pretty, the other wants it to be mechanically efficient, and more often than not, those two things don't actually align. So the two of them have to fight to create something that looks great but creates more headaches in the mechanical side, and that's usually where costs start to rise.
Another one of the challenges that we embarked upon as well with the creation of this movement was SH21 became quite famous for its 5-day power reserve coming from the two barrels within the movement. This new movement of ours, the CW003, once fully wound, it has a power reserve of 6 days, 144 hours. Again, way beyond what would normally be expected. And to achieve that, not always as easy as saying it.
What's really challenging about a longer power reserve isn't the longer power reserve, you just fit a bigger spring. What the challenge is making sure that spring is consistent all the way through and gives you good amplitude, good accuracy from day 1 all the way through to day 6. So you actually have to, in this case, split it in between 2 main springs, so you start to even that out, and you have to look at the architecture, the complexity, or even the friction all the way through to make sure you can draw good accuracy from the spring all the way through. Otherwise, you end up with great 6 days of power reserve, but there's a couple of days at the end that are no good, that give you bad timing.
Jonas?
Sally Frank.
Sally, so jetzt?
So, ich habe dieses Resultat.
Jetzt, what good news, hey? Nur mal good news, hä?
Ja, das ist relativ, leider.
This week we have to have a look again to the amplitude of this watch because our supplier delivers some anchors which are not well adjusted. The pellets are not in this position we'd like to have it.
The amplitude is like this balance here, and you can see that it's swinging to the left, to the right, okay? And from the max point from the right to the max point to the left is called the amplitude. So what we are looking for is to get it as high as possible. Huh?
I got actually this morning 10 anchors. We have 1, 2 movements where it's not perfectly adjusted, so that I have to take contact with them. I need to have on the entry side here and also on the other side, on the so-called sortie, the same picture. Same much as it falls. Tuck. And then if I turn further down, it goes more down. So here is a little bit different than on the other side, which is also very hard to adjust perfectly because we are talking here about hundredth or even thousandth of millimeters. What we arrived here is actually in the okay range. What I need just is a tiny little bit more of amplitude. So here, this little distance we have, I have to make it as small as possible. Maybe half of it, maximum. The adjustment on the anchors need to be 100% on all the 10 anchors. They have to do that. This is their mission to deliver us for the series afterwards for thousands of pieces that they are all same adjusted. And there we have to find each other because it's not yet 100% as it's supposed to be.
If you don't get 10 identical parts, how you get 5,000 identical kits? So until we have that factual base, I'm kind of like, I don't know. So right now, Frank and Jonas, they can prepare all of that information, and then we have a fresh start, fresh minds, come back together and say, hey guys, what does that mean? Rather than today make any assumption and the big guess and all of that.
It's one thing creating a watch of this nature, this complexity, this beauty, with its own movement. It's a very different thing to do it in the quantities that Christopher Ward does things in. And there's nobody that I'm aware of in the entire watch industry that has ever created a watch of this complexity in the numbers that we expect to sell it in.
It's not that important how high the amplitude is. Important is more towards the end of the power reserve if we still have enough amplitude that it runs stable. And that's what we're going to test now with the next step. Put them on the machine, my measurement program. The most important on the 6 days is just to see that they're still running. We check now every day, more or less about the same time, until the 5th day. On the 5th day, we have to do maybe every hour to be sure that movements are still running in the same range with the amplitude and the rate. So that will take a while. For now, can't do more here. Of course, there is a certain tension or pressure because we wanna bring these products out until April. So their time is running, that's for sure. Finally, after 6 days of testing the power reserve, we will know if it holds the 144 hours.
I was talking to Paul on Friday. He kind of gave me the impression that you were about to give us some news about the open balance.
Yeah, so if we
Well, I mean, the positive news we were ecstatic about, really, which is it looks like we've got an open balance watch that has the right amplitude and the right 6 days of power reserve, albeit it's at the moment based on only 6 watches running over Christmas through the New Year period. But that is, until then, we didn't know that. So it's
huge news.
That is big news. So, wow, that's a big moment, mate.
Well done, Yor. Massive well done.
So as you can see, there's kind of 2 very distinct avenues that we took with when sampling colors. So on the left side is something a bit more sporty, so these bright oranges, bright blues, very vibrant colors. And then on the right, a few more classic colors, so some gold, some kind of lighter blues. Our original thinking was to sample everything and then look back and see what felt right for the watch. We ended up going with the more vibrant colours and the more sporty colours. The reason being for that is the watch itself, being based on a 12, is more kind of sporty than something like a Belcanto, which is inherently more classic. And then in terms of picking specific colours, we end up sampling a lot of different versions of each colour. On initial impression, they all look very, very, very similar. And it's teasing out the differences and just deciding what characteristics of each colour we think work best with the overall design. There is absolutely no science to it. It is all off gut feel. It's common that when you're looking at samples, one just stands out. You can't describe why it's right, but it just feels right. So that's more often than not the one we go for.
So the wings are one specific part that shows what the colours will look like and what the component could look like. But getting the full watch sample with the dial, with the balance wheel and the case is going to be amazing. Yeah, no, excited for it.
No, that's perfect.
So we get to see and touch the watches quite a lot, but sample days is always fun. Mostly to show other people around the office, get people's reactions after years of hard work. So we're signing off the colours today. It's not the final sample. There's still things to do on the movement and the finishing, but these are the final colours.
Oh my God.
So we're quite happy with 2 of them, and 2 of them need little changes, but I'll let you first digest them.
Yeah, that needs a fair bit of work doing on it.
Also, right now, what you can see, we changed a bit the dial in 3D, you know, that the dial becomes a bit more floating, so we have an angle on both. So when I traveled to Maidenhead and I showed the samples to Sarah and Mike, because I knew they're good, I'm quite confident, relaxed, where on the other hand, if they would have been like really poor quality, I would have been pretty anxious.
I mean, come on, guys. It's stunning.
It's coming together.
This is going to make waves. It's how big the waves are. It's definitely going to make waves. We want bloody tsunamis.
Yeah, we have signed off the colour samples now, and now it's just a case of showing people around the office, around the company, and seeing what the feedback is.
That is just remarkable.
Some of them...
Incredible.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, that one.
Straight to the white.
Yes, that one. Yeah.
What?
That's just...
Do you like that? Yeah, of course you can.
So the key thing I wanted to flag to everyone, so Mike flies to Australia Friday. So next Thursday... So not ideal timing, but Mike's off to Australia for 5 weeks. So a lot to get done and a lot to get in front of him before he goes.
You know, we've got to get all our ducks in a row because Mike's going away. With that comes certain, like, conversations you've got to have, which normally you wouldn't have until later on down the line, but it seems quite small compared to what they're trying to do downstairs. You know what I mean? The challenges to overcome, relatively speaking, are quite small, but, yeah, we'll do it. We always do. And we've got to make a film in the middle of it as well.
I asked the team to all come together on launch strategy for Open Balance. We have set out a bit of an agenda.
Looking forward to a few weeks in Australia. We spent a good chunk of today, my last day before a travel, going through where we're up to with Open Balance, and I can travel a happy man, I think. I think the team have worked literally tirelessly on the plans for the launch. And some of the ideas that we've got for this launch are, I think, quite exceptional. We've had good news in the last week about the open balance itself. We now know our new movement is capable of operating to the level of efficiency and accuracy that we want. The colour samples that we viewed earlier this week almost quite literally brought a tear to our eyes, I think, certainly mine. It was quite emotional because I think the colour selection we've made is quite stunning. Things are looking quite well placed, and it's all down to the work the guys have done. We're getting there.
So making it is one thing. You have a great product, internally everyone thinks it's good, all the fingers are crossed, but the reality is the proof is in the pudding, is in the response from the general public. There are 3 places in the world that this kind of horology is usually benchmarked for success. You have Asia, you have the Middle East, and you have the US. The most difficult market to crack, I think, is the US.
Here in the States, consumers and watch consumers, collectors, they appreciate thoughtfully, intentionally made watches.
Hello, mate. What are you doing? How are you, friend? If you can navigate this city, people here know this brand, and that blows my mind. That's when you're like, actually, that little town in England and what they're doing in Switzerland is affecting people out here and what they buy. I love that.
Loco came out with a tourbillon for under 40,000. It completely blew my mind. So then to come to you guys and see you made a sonnerie for under 5,000, I'm like, whoa. It speaks a lot to the industry too. It speaks a lot to the smoke and mirrors that it was possible to do it. The industry just decided not to do it and focus more on let's charge as much as we can for something versus let's respect our customers and make a profit, make a business of it, but also being mindful of we really want you to be able to really enjoy and love our watches. That is what is drawing the Christopher Ward brand to them.
My name's Mike. I'm the brand director here in North America for Christopher Ward, and I'm just so proud to be here tonight. And
well, the watch community is amazing for all the watch industry, but for Christopher Ward that's reliant truly on trust, there's nothing like it. We don't have retailers, we don't have people that can be ambassadors out in the field. In that retail store, those people behind those cases tell the story. For us, it's the community.
Worn & Wound, I mean, we do a lot of things. We started as a website about watches, and it started in 2011. Myself and business partner Blake Mallon, we started a little website about affordable watches with absolutely no ambition, and it quickly just caught on because, you know, without realizing it, we hit onto something that a lot of people were interested in, and the timing was also right. 2015, we launched Wind Up Watch Fair, which was another just experiment. Thought what it would be like to get some watch brands in a room together and put them in front of our audience and their customers in a really accessible, way, and no tickets or anything like that. No fuss, just bring yourself and your love of watches. It's not something people come to one day. People come for a whole weekend. They hang out there, and that's, just the nature of who we are and what we want to bring.
Like, what's so special about the watch community?
It's earnest. It's sincere, I think. I mean, it's such a sort of quirky little niche, and everyone who's a part of it is just in it sort of for the love of the watches and of the community. And I think everyone's just really excited to find other watch people. I think that's what we see at events at our office or when we do our wind-up events. I think for folks who haven't been to one before, they kind of walk in and they're like, oh, like, these are my people. This is my place. Other people like me exist. So it's just, for me, it's just the sincerity of it.
We are a brand that's, as you all know, online only and have been for 20 years, our 21st year of being in business. There's a gentleman there called Kip, if you just see him. Raise your hand, please, Kip. Kip's been around Christopher Ward and actually led the way here in America with our forum, and it's global as well. But what he did...
The very first watch I was looking for, which is how I found Christopher Ward, was just a blue watch with an alarm. That's all I wanted. And it popped up in a Google search of some sort. And I'd never heard of them. The price was right. I said, oh, let's give it a shot. And then the rest is sort of history. 150 watches later. Bought my first watch in 2007. Shortly thereafter, joined the forum. Became a moderator about a year later. And here we are today. I mean, we've developed 8, forum limited edition watches. Just, it's a good group. We've got almost 17,000 members, and it's a place to learn, a place where the members will teach each other. And it's a wonderful community, not just for Christopher Ward, but for horology in general.
How was your holiday? Oh, Australia, fantastic. Never been before. Had been on the bucket list. Loved it, absolutely, and we will go back. Of course, one of the things that being away for a month in Australia gives one time for is to ponder certain things, and my pondering has led me to one major issue that I have with the launch, which I've yet to share with the team.
So, before obviously you went away, Mike, we presented this deck, which was sort of everything we planned to do for Open Balance, and we thought now that you're back, we would just run you through sort of everything that we've done, where we're at, and so, okay.
The first slide here.
Just before you get into the detail, something's been eating away for a little while. You're probably not going to like this much. Are we sure about the name?
So Mike likes to drop a grenade into the room, and I actually quite like that because it just pushes you to do a bit more, to think a bit harder, and all of these little things. So yeah, I don't have a problem with that. And I think also it's good where that Mike obviously comes with his different angle than sometimes what we have in Switzerland, right? So to have a bit spice from the other side and bring a bit emotions from somebody who is not every day in the bubble is actually something very positive.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong, but when's the press release got to go out?
Today.
Okay.
No,
does it really have to go out today?
We can delay.
But firstly, I mean,
It's better to get it right.
I mean, you're perfectly entitled to say, "Sod off, mate, you're wrong."
Yeah.
But what do you think?
Yeah, I think they're gonna go something a bit more extreme. Some like a name which you would not combine in your brain directly with such a beautiful watch. But I think what it does, again, this is what I'm touching on it before, it provokes something. It provokes emotion, I think it provokes interest. Because, there's so many watchmakers out there, how they're calling their watches. The reference P79, the RM9, You don't understand anything. And even the worst thing is the movement references. Like, they have the C.678, and it's like, Jesus Christ. So somebody who kind of breaks down a bit that wall and makes it a bit more understandable for everyone, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Okay, well, glad we got to slide 1 of the deck.
Yeah, sorry.
So it was a bit of a curveball meeting, really. We obviously went in there, you know, we were planning on sending the press release out. In fact, I think it's already gone out to some journalists, so there's a bit of damage limitation to do there. But yeah, I guess from a mic perspective, just having a name change is probably a fairly okay outcome. The thing is, he's often right, and that's the frustrating thing sometimes.
We have thought about a name. Are you sitting down? What we know is that motion is important here. We want it to be something ownable, something a little different, a little CW, yeah? The aspiration, the audacity, to use your word, Jan, of us doing something like the open balance, as it's currently called, yeah, there's a certain madness in that. There's a certain sort of lunacy to some extent in even attempting to do what we're attempting to do. There's also this desire to have motion, which is absolutely right, and we've just been discussing that as well. The name that we're thinking about and is calling it the Loco. We want to let it sink in for a little while, as is often the way with these things. But instant feedback. It won't be held against you. The Loco.
Do you know what the name will be, or has there been any early names?
Yeah, there's been Loco. After Hello showed, so Loco, a revolution in motion, I was like, all right, fair enough. And when you think about it, if you see somewhere Christopher Ward is launching the Loco, a revolution in motion, sparks interest. You go, why is that? It's not the C12, 600, 900, I don't know what. So I think it's good, and it gives emotion, and I think it matches actually the watch quite well, obviously with the powerful colors, which are quite out there, together with the rubber straps and all of that. So I think, yeah, no, it could be a good mix. I don't know if a Loco is the holy version, but yeah, something is definitely better, because open balance is a bit, no emotion, it's a bit cold and all of that, so I don't mind to bring a bit of spice in all of that.
It's British Watchmakers Day this weekend, the second one ever, and we're excited. It's a good opportunity to see our friends from other brands, but also bearing in mind we sent the press release last week, it'll be our first opportunity to see a lot of our media contacts in one place, see some reaction in person, hear some feedback in person. And I've just heard that Mike's quite keen to bring a sample to this day, where there'll be 1,400 odd watch enthusiasts in one room. We're still 2 months from launch, so it's even too early for a strategic leak. I just I hope it doesn't show too many people.
Colorado? Yeah, I came from Colorado to be here. Yes. I'm serious. When are you back? What? I fly back on Sunday. But I've never been to London, and I wanted to come to London, and you guys are the reason that I'm here, so.
So in British watchmaking today, there is this incredible resurgence. In 2018, we started talking about setting up the Alliance of British Watch and Clockmakers, because myself and Mike, we thought things were happening in Britain, but it wasn't being talked about. So we sort of founded the Alliance a couple of years later, and there were 20 brands out there. And now we've got over 100.
The whole idea with British Watchmakers Day is to give as many of our brands the opportunity to
meet with collectors and to present their amazing watches. Conversely, it's presenting a really friendly, easy and accessible show for collectors and fans of watchmaking to come along to. There's no snobbery here. There's a watch for everybody, and I think it's really important that people have the opportunity to collect watches, whether they're £150 or a Roger Smith at £300,000. We're all watch enthusiasts, and we're all on the same collecting journey.
I love the community. I find that watches are one thing, but actually it's the people you meet along the way, the connections you create. The merging of worlds between music and watches is something that I have been. It genuinely changed my life. Now when I travel around the world, there's someone, like I wore my bel canto to Singapore, and I was in a restaurant and someone came over and it's like, oh, is that a bel canto? I've never been hands-on, and you have a full conversation with someone around a watch, and I don't really know what else starts those conversations.
We come off the back of British Watchmakers Day, the second one that's taken place. And I know after the first one, so many brand owners basically were fired up because they said, you know what? I've always just seen this as my side hobby, my side gig. I now really want to go for it. I can see brands who, 10, 20 years ago were tiny, grow into substantial businesses, being written about and heralded and spoken about in the same way as established Swiss entities. Maybe I want to do that. It's very interesting. You can't just tell someone, also, have you thought of this? They need to see it. They need to get that spark. And I think that's the big difference. And the big reason is now a lot of the watch media and a lot of watch collectors are going, yeah, actually, it's not just more watch companies. It's not just more watches. It's actually an industry that's taking itself seriously and growing from that.
Watch brands in the current day, it's no longer a nice to have a culture around your brand and a community that loves your brand. So I feel that this is something that, brands like Christopher Ward have been doing since they started, and actually the bigger brands are catching up.
I've just been taking, as you know, I've shown a number of people here at British Watchmakers Day the C12 Loco for the first time, even though I've not even used the name. So it's a lovely thing to do. It's a good conversation starter, but it's great information gather as well. And I really do think we've got another winner on our hands, if I'm any judge of these things.
It's not quite the boardroom bragging right situation that it used to be when I first started. People are more interested in expressing their personalities through their watches. I think there is much more flux, whereas before you used to maybe just buy a couple of watches, one for weekend, one for work, and that would be it. Whereas I think now people are developing a watch wardrobe, and I do think that the prevalence of micro brands and indies who come in at a much, well, not much lower, but a lower price point means that you can have that variety in your wardrobe. It doesn't have to be you spend 10 years and a lot of date justs getting your Submariner.
Yeah, so I think the challenge for us in marketing when we make an amazing product like the Open Balance is how do we do it justice? You know, it's a huge marketing challenge. The watch sells itself when it's in front of somebody, but how do you translate that onto a website or an email or into social media? You know, how do you photograph this thing? How do you capture all the light reflecting qualities, all of the tiny little pieces? It's not an easy challenge in any sense. So for me, I always feel the pressure of not fucking it up, basically. When the product team has done a really good job creating it, how do we make sure we sell it in the best possible way, we really have to make every single thing we do work really hard to get across how incredible this watch is.
So the aim will be to effectively tease and nurture before the Open Balance is launched with these in our usual suspects in terms of print, both here and in the States.
Is that meant to be a Swiss cheese? It is a Swiss cheese.
It is a Swiss cheese, Peter. Yes, Emmental.
And of course, it's something we haven't done before as well. Teasing in this print.
I mean, it's going to be interesting what sort of response we get. I mean, no doubt some people will be, what the hell are they up to now? But yeah, I just think it's really clever. We've never been traditional in our approach to print ads, so, and I think this carries on that fine tradition.
I'm sorry. That's the best Monday. Now we're printing out the manuals for the watchmakers. They will need them on their tables today when they will start with the assembling of the marketing samples. This is the most important thing, that don't forget, never do something where you think, oh, I think that's a little bit better, do it like this. Respect the manual, because we have to know at the end, is it correct? Bon, alors, puis je veux dire Feuer frei. Good luck. Yes, bonne chance.
I mean, basically, for each step, almost for every part that we assemble, there is one page. So we will see in the end that this manual is working actually properly. So we all have to do it exactly the way that it's written in here.
And so I come actually to a quite interesting moment where I assembled rhodinated bridges, where we can see already when we put those on how beautiful the movement is looking. And it's actually for me a very exciting moment. There we are, dial side. And we're starting with the escapement wheel. It's actually there, so from this side. Finally. There we go. First watch finished. Look at that. How great is that?
That's lovely.
First time happy today.
So it's Charlie's birthday. He's 42 now, and we're gonna celebrate his birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Charlie. Happy birthday to you. Charlie, okay. Oh, Charlie. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Voila.
He's loving it.
All good? Anything from anyone else?
I just want to
Yeah, it's almost a bit scary. Like...
So quickly with an open balance, like everything works quite well, so I don't like that.
It's going too well, Jorg.
Yes, at the moment, yes.
Oh, no.
Touch wood. Don't like that.
It's almost sure that something will crop up.
Oh my god! Here, not so sure. So what we're experiencing at the moment is a classic. Something is stuck at custom. I just really hope the rubber straps are good, because if the rubber straps not are good, then we're in a really messy situation.
So, fitment is not great.
Not everything is working well at the moment. Also, people are stressed, and is it possible to handle all these parts without scratching something?
We had a little accident yesterday. There is a crack through the riding. So this is not possible to repair. Accidents happen. That is natural, can happen to anyone.
Just a lot of things going on, to be honest. It's the dial, it's the strap, then we change the clasp, and you go, is everything going to be fine? I hope so. And even then on the weekend, you dream about the strap and like, is it good enough? Because if it's not good enough, we basically have, right now, instead of 10 bracelets for 15 watches, we only have 8 bracelets because we need new components for the clasp. But if the rubber straps are not going to be good, then actually we miss 7 straps of bracelets for the 15 watches. So how could we achieve the marketing sample of the total of 15 watches? Question. I have no idea. So, yeah. We'll find it out.
Are you finished with your watches? Okay, so 13 watches done. And we just make now a power reserve test from today till next Thursday. Now we made 13, and then we have to make 80 pieces. So it's gonna be probably then two sampling weeks or even 3. It's gonna be very intense again. But until there, I mean, we have learned even this time a lot about, let's say, wrong adjustments or components that appeared that were not 100% good. So the next 80 ones will go much more simple, let's say, to assemble. Anyway, it is very important to do the more mistakes, as weird as it sounds, the more mistakes we make now, the better for later, because every mistake, every error we make is a chance to learn from it, to make it better. And so no mistakes, no learning. Take this away so you can see them. All the 13 ones. Until next Thursday. And then we ship them to Maidenhead.
You said nice things.
What's been fascinating from an editorial standpoint is seeing how the conversation has changed around Christopher Ward. It used to be, like, OK, Christopher Ward, you're going to get a solid watch. Maybe not the most exciting, I'm going to be honest. I'm sure Mike wouldn't have a go at me for that. Maybe not the most exciting, but solid. But in the last 5 or 6 years, suddenly, you know, things have really started to change. They've started to develop a really cool design language. You've got things like the 12, obviously the bel canto. You have these different looks, but they all seem to be very much a Christopher Ward. And I think that's been really exciting, seeing them develop this very cool design language that is unique to them.
Just to let you know once I... Oh, sorry, no, just had a...
Oh, the days
Yeah, so T-minus, pretty much a month now. There's a lot of excitement. I think we're at quite a nice place in terms of the PR kind of outlook. We've got the media day tomorrow in London, which is a new thing for us. And it'll just be an opportunity to get the watch again in the hands of a lot of people. So the sample situation has been okay. You know, initially we anticipated a lot more than what we have had to work with, but we've used what we've had really well, and they've been around. You know, they've been in the States, they've been in Australia, they've been all over Europe. So we're confident that the main areas are going to be hit ahead of launch day.
Yeah, I don't think I'm sleeping or dreaming about anything else at the moment. It is all about this launch, all about this watch. Yeah, we are very glass half full, but if we were being honest, there is still a lot that could go wrong and quite a few curveballs that could jeopardise the launch in a month's time. So my big thing is just, am I going to have those 80 samples for the launch?
There is not one special reason I become a little bit more nervous and my heart starts to beat a little bit stronger than normal. I think every day now until we did the 80 pieces will be like this, I suppose. So because time is running fast, faster than everybody expect.
No, they're gonna do it, to be honest. Like, I'm quite, well, what does that mean they're gonna do it? I think they're gonna do it. Do I know? No, I don't. But no, I'm quite comfortable. I just really hope like it's not gonna be Easter, because that's not gonna be great for the team and for the whole vibe.
Time is value, Zeit ist Wert. That means whatever we lose is lost. You cannot get it back.
So yeah, everything we can do to produce the watches for Easter would be absolutely fantastic, and it would be absolutely only the worst case if people would have to come in over Easter and all of that. So let's see. But yeah, until now, fingers crossed, touch wood, all good.
It's just another step to do another one that's gonna be best one. So we know it's never gonna stop. If you say this is gonna be the best, feel like so static, like it's the end of the road, but there is no end of the road.
No, it's all about the journey. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's the same like with doing new watches, but the same with the brand, right?
Yeah.
Like we're on a journey. Like, how big is Christopher Ward in 5 years? I have no idea.
Huh. Ooh. And it's got the vertical brushing. It feels like an appreciable step up. It does. From an engineering perspective, from, really across the board. Other brands, if I was another brand, fuck.
But it doesn't look like either. It doesn't look like either.
What in the world? What is that? No. To bring a new in-house movement to market in a very compressed amount of time is not a small feat.
The next 5 years for Christopher Ward are very exciting. Number one, I think we're going to turn a lot of heads. I think the whole watch world kind of went, who are they? And what are they doing? And how do they deserve to be in the same kind of conversations as we are? Movement-wise, complication-wise, but I think we're going to shock a lot of people. And I say that with a lot of love as well. I think that's really, really exciting.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. And it's amazing with the case to see how it all fits in. That's incredible.
I think they've done it again. They've definitely done it again. That is absolutely gorgeous.
When they said that they had to go back to the drawing board because they wanted the movement to be beautiful as well, I thought that was absolutely just a really surprising thing to do, because you don't need to, you don't really see it. It's, it's on your wrist. You don't really need to worry about that. But the fact that they have, and the fact that they've gone for this really incredible architecture, it's just, and as you say, at the price point, the whole thing is just a real surprise from start to finish.
Whoa. Oh man, can I swear I fucking love it.
I think the day we believe that the brand is the best one or the product is the best one, then we feel something in the culture of the company, because that's not the aim to be the best one. We just want to be better than what we were yesterday somehow.
Here we go. Oh, wow. Okay, this is not the colour that I thought it was going to be. This is way more vibrant. Yeah, that's the next level for Christopher Ward. That's the next step forward. Yeah, this is watch magic.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
So we've got a free-sprung balance, which is also, you know, just something that is typically on a certain, like, a higher-end level of watch. It's just, yeah, I mean, this is a high-end, that's the kind of the thing. This is a high-end watch. It has every hallmark of a high-end watch that is $15,000, $20,000 watches, except you just have to kind of like compute, but it's 4,800, and that's because of how they do business, right? Yeah, this is high-end watchmaking for the masses.
I think until the day we put ourselves out there, you don't know. And I think it's like anything new you create and share, you always take a risk. But if we don't do it, we're never gonna know. So, hey, we have to do it.
But yeah, no, it's definitely a long journey and will be a big relief. Like once it's out there and you just hopefully see bing, 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 the positive, not negative comments on social media.
The passionates in the watch industry, they are looking for something new that's much more different, you know. And then like brands like Christopher Ward, they have really a place in that watchmaking world. And I think that's the excitement I have, my partners have, and certainly a lot of the people in our company have. And this is exciting.
There's almost an expectation now on us to do this sort of thing. I just hope the appreciation of what the team have done is equally great, because 003 and the new Open Balance watch is unquestionably our finest hour.
Cool.
Yeah, no, we're not doing this question. No.
Yes. Can we grab you for 20 minutes now?
Yes. What do I need to do?
Come and have a chat with me.
Jesus Christ, but like, look at this.
Well, exactly, so we'll do something with it.
Walk the magic.
Sorrow is your best friend, and at your table.
And ask for the impossible. Talk of which, talking of the impossible, and so.
You say the wolves will come a-howling, they'll come a-howling.
Was very well known. I was on the third take of something, so I only needed 4.
Many times before.